How you doing, everybody? It's Mike from Street Candy. Back out of the garage. The weather's pretty good, so we're gonna get into this Vette, what type of progress I've been making here lately. So here we go. So back with my 1999 FRC. What things have I done to it? It's been a couple months since I probably put up a video, and a couple things that I've done differently to the car. So you've been following the car for probably about the past 2 years. I've owned it. It's almost 2 years from the past time I've owned the car. You probably can see some things that I've done on it. So we're just gonna talk about some of those things. I have been busy the past couple months, and I've been trying to make as many changes as my schedule allows. So I'm gonna go over some of the things. Some of them big, some of them small, but they're definitely changes. So there's a little show at Richard Bland, old college I went to for a little while. I kind of painted the brake calipers. They came out all right for a spray paint job and a lot of clear coat. Didn't want to spend the money on wheel woods, anything like that yet. Brembos, anything, or I don't know, a 6th generation Camaro or something like that, upgrade to the car. I just want to take care of what we kind of have at the moment right now. It's got power stop brakes all the way around, power stop pads and fluid and everything all the way around. And for what I'm doing with the car, I don't think I would particularly need that at the moment. Something I can wait on. So excuse me. The first thing we want to look at is that over the past weekend or so, I actually end up doing the center track spec vent. Kind of mad at myself. I wish I would have did it earlier. I hope the sun isn't glaring too much on the camera, but I should have done it a while ago, and I just didn't have the confidence to do it. I wasn't sure about how I was gonna feel necessarily about doing it, but one of the buddies I got of mine is a guy named Philip Cornell. You can follow his page. It's Cornell Garage on Instagram and Cornell Garage on YouTube. It's probably one of the best Camaros on the East Coast, next to Kyle Tucker's, but definitely a good one. So we ended up putting this in at his house. Me and him did it. The other two were at the shop, but we actually ended up doing it. It turned out pretty well. Does the job. A lot of shops didn't even want to do it, honestly. Cutting into the hood of a Corvette, I guess one guy told me he was scared he was going to have to buy me a vent. He was so scared of doing it, even after I showed him the stencil. And I sent multiple videos to multiple shops, 5 or 6 shops. I was on every single page you could think about trying to get shops anywhere in the Richmond, Virginia area, Chesterfield, Petersburg, Hopewell, anybody that would do it. Found a shop in Ashland. I felt they had the skill level to do it. They built custom cars. They were gonna do it, but I didn't think for other reasons they wanted to do business with me, honestly. Don't feel like getting into that, but whatever. At least I did them a courtesy by telling them I didn't need them anymore after I got the job done. Whatever. But turned out good. I did choose to still use damn airport. So I didn't rivet these in just like I didn't rivet the last ones in. I used the same bolts from Fastenal, which are Allen head bolts with washers and nuts on the back. They do, I don't know if you can see it on camera, but they do give you a little spacer here, just for the natural line of the hood when it goes down. So when you bought this in, rain and all kind of stuff doesn't go down inside your motor. This is kind of like a little spacer. So I don't know what it's made out of, like Kevlar or fiberglass or something like that, but it worked pretty good. Other than that, I just kind of supplied my own bolts, and me and Philip kind of got together. He had a lot of the tools and stuff at his house to do it with. We cut it, put it in, measured probably I couldn't tell you. I guess we measured probably about maybe 10 times from all different angles, and drank a bunch of beer and cut it up. Turned out good. So anyway, as we moving on in the car, the next thing I did was this car looked like a motor control car to me, like most cars look from the 90s. They either have a motorized antenna or they have a really high metal antenna. So I wish I'd have spent the $20 a long time ago to buy this stubby thing. So I put that on there, and it gives the car a better profile and a more realistic modern view, I think. It definitely looks really good. I mean, the radio doesn't mess up. The reception's still pretty good. I would highly tell somebody, if you don't have one or you're driving an old 90s car, yeah, definitely invest your money. It's only 20 bucks. It's called a Stubby. Best installation I probably ever did, next to the other one I'm gonna show you later in the video, which I gotta be getting old to be excited about that one. One of the big ones that I did, let's open this car up. So if you follow one of my first videos I had when I got this car, I complained about the steering wheel and I complained about the seats. So I've addressed the steering wheel, I've addressed the shift knob and all that. So here we go. I end up spending some pretty good money after I saved for a little while, and I actually bought Corbeau A4s. Corbeau A4s are about the most popular seat that you're gonna see in a Corvette. There are some companies like Sparco that do make some. They got some other ones that Corbeau makes that'll fit in here. They're really hard seats to get in this car, fitment wise. They're really hard. I had some extreme problems with my rails. I'll make a separate video on that, which I'm not happy about. But I got my rails right on my own, and I got them to fit in here. So it's no problem now. They do go back and forth, they recline. The only thing about the A4s is the passenger side seat actually goes on the driver's side. So that's the passenger side seat. So that means the driver's side seat is the passenger side one. You still do use your driver and passenger side rail, but you have to swap the actual seats for it to fit in. So that means, if you look way down here, I'm not sure if you can see, that's where your recline is. I kind of set my recline to where I want it is. Nobody drives this car but me. My wife goes with me sometimes on cruises, maybe stuff my kids in here every once in a while, take them around the block. It's not a huge deal. So I don't need to move the seat a bunch. I'm the only one that drives it. But they're very comfortable. They're beautiful. I like how they look. They got these little stress areas right here on the seats. They don't hit the door. They fit in here fine. It's just Corvettes have a really tough time with getting seats inside of a car. You might even be best modifying your factory seat, honestly, and using the factory rails and just changing out the fabric, and they fit in. That's what I did with my last Corvette. I didn't even put seats in that one, and just have a more aggressive bolstering installed. But other than that, as you can see, they're great. Kind of like a micro suede kind of thing here. And this isn't leather. I think it's like a high grade vinyl or something, but you know, pretty good. And these are where you can actually see where the brackets are, the rails. They go here and they go all the way back behind the seat. Pretty interesting. They're not that consistent, but the seats are definitely worth it. If you get a good pair, you get a good pair. As far as the rails are concerned, I'll do a separate video explaining the whole thing on that. I could stretch this video way longer than what it's gonna be, telling you more about that. So it kind of matches the theme I was going for, with suede on the bag, the suede on the driven steering wheel, and the kind of suede in here. So I just still wanted to be comfortable, still wanted a reclinable seat, and I still wanted a seat that moved back and forth. This car is not a track car. This car is a street car that could be tracked. And I just wanted the car to be comfortable, still drive it aggressive. And if I wanted to take it to the track, I could sit the seat up straight. I didn't want a fixed back seat because it's just not that, it's not that serious right now. It's not that serious. And I doubt very seriously if it will ever be that serious. I just want to do some moderate tracking here and there, autocross, some road racing every once in a while. But anyway, the other one that I'm happy about is this cup holder. I know, I wish I could give y'all something more exciting, but I can't. It's just this cup holder. So if you own a Corvette or you think about owning one, they're very limited when it comes to cup holders. It's a joke of what you get for cup holders. This cup holder was actually around 70 or 80 bucks. I didn't even pay for it. I let my nephew buy it for me for Christmas because I wasn't gonna pay for it. I let him get it to me. It's probably the most expensive part he's ever bought for a car. And I think it's well worth the money. I'm gonna show you something real quick though. So I thought they were maybe bolt in, they don't. They're so cheap that what they do is they actually slide in right here under this, and then they get pinned to the floor. So it hasn't fallen out yet. I don't think it's worth 70, 80 bucks, why I didn't buy it, but it's definitely earned its keep at this point. You can put keys, a bottle of water in it, and you know, I think it works fine. And my wife don't complain about not having anywhere to put water or Starbucks or whatever we driving somewhere. This is your cup holder option for this car. This is what you get. This is what you get. So if you're driving aggressive, this is gonna flop everywhere, and you're just gonna have problems. For real, they could have just smoothed this over and not had anything there. And for real, long-term plan, if somebody wanted to modify this or scan this, I would probably option this to even get smoothed out. I mean, that's other big boy type stuff that somebody could actually do and market to do, and just eliminate this, and it'd probably be better. A better looking one. There's companies out there that make different ones of these, and I would option to get rid of that if I was doing it. But anyway, that's pretty much what I've been up to with this car, man. I mean, it's just steady mods, steady moving along, you know. Sometimes it's just steady along. Sometimes the mods they're not gonna be big, it's not gonna be turbo stuff, it's not gonna be this or that. Sometimes it's just gonna be small things, you know, small things count too. Mods count too. Small mods, they all count. Big things on cars, they count. You know, small things on cars, they count. I tell anybody, man, like probably the most important thing you have on your car is probably the oil pan bolt that doesn't cost you anything. So I believe small things amount to stuff too. So this car's been one of the better cars I've owned. I'll say right next to like my FCRX7. It's been a pretty good car. Pretty good car. I cannot actually be unhappy with it in any regard. I was going to actually do coilovers on this thing, but you know, I just ended up moving on to something else. Honestly, just moved on to another project. But the coilover thing, I'm a little behind schedule on it. I was gonna buy bars. I was gonna buy some bars for the car, and one of my friends will actually parting out some bars for his old C5, and somebody beat me to the punch, so I wasn't able to get them. And you know, he had to finance his project, so I'm not actually mad about it. It is what it is. Somebody just beat me to the punch. So it's in the lineup for it. When I bought this car, I really didn't know as much about it as I do now. And you know, cars that I kind of look at now, if I was to move past, goddamn planes, bro. Whatever. So sorry about that. Cars that I look at now that maybe I'd be interested in, like I say, GT350s or either E92 BMWs. Know they got the rod bearing thing going on, but a stripper model of certain cars are the most desirable, and this is pretty much the closest thing you're gonna get to, which I would call like a stripper model in a car. Like I say, just to give you a little background information, I didn't know these are more cars that they want to turn to spec Corvettes or like spec Miata racing, the lightest, the stiffest. The cars that you don't have to worry about taking all the electronics out. This car did not come with heads-up display. This car had manual seats already that were in it. There's no climate control whatsoever, just kind of a base radio, base heating, no climate control whatsoever on the dash. You know, these were dialed down cars. You know, the glass is thinner, the roof is stiffer. The hatchback ones, they creak and crack everywhere. This car is so stiff. Even in this model is stiff. Like, this is a Z51 package one for $19.99. I think in 1999 they made 33,000 Corvettes and only 4,000 were fixed roof coupes. And I think 11,000 of them or so, somewhere around that mark, were convertibles or something. So pretty rare. I'm the only one that I know with an FRC. I'm on a lot of Corvette forums, and other guys across the country have them. Of course, they did sell 4,000, so it's 50 states. I'm pretty sure other places have them. And this car came out of Texas when it was originally bought in 1998 by a guy in Texas. It's pretty rare. I didn't know it was as rare as it was. I didn't know any of that stuff. I just knew it was a really good car, and it was a 6-speed. It was light. I always liked the Z06 kind of look, but when I bought this, I didn't have any idea that it was as rare as it was. And I go to some car events and I look for them. I never see them. I never see them. I'm driving on the road, I never see them. I see a lot of hatchback vets. I see a ton of C5s. I see a lot of hatchbacks, but I don't see them. And some of the qualities on this car are just things that you do want. If you was to buy a FDRX7, they're really desirable if they don't have sunroofs. And FDRX7s have bubbles in the roof right here, which came before this car. They actually did that on the hardtop ones of FDRX7s. They're highly desirable. Most FDRX7s are sunroof cars. You don't see a lot of them that have hardtop roofs, and if you do, it's really rare that you find it. Just like if you was to find a M3 E92, to find a stripper model E92 with no navigation, just a regular dashboard and a 6-speed and kind of like half-ass interior, very desirable car. They're the highest ones to buy. So the stripper model cars are starting to be the ones to hold on to, or the ones that are highest in price. Not to say that I'm interested in selling anytime soon, but it's definitely good information to find out about your car when you buy it, to kind of go over it and see what sets your car apart, what's more marketable, to make it, you know, if you do want to sell it at some point, why it would be priced the way it would be priced due to the options that it had. And this car just doesn't have a lot of frills on it. So definitely have gotten Really happy with owning it. Maybe a front lip, some splitters or something to be like that from the end of at the end of the year. I kind of don't really like the front end while I'm driving it. I really feel like that needs to be filled in a little more, and some splitters or something. So that's kind of on the schedule next. Splitter, maybe wide body, widening the wheels, powder coating the wheels. Those are definitely long-term plans. And that's pretty much about it. Not sure how wide I'm gonna go on the wheels. Maybe 10s on the front, maybe 11s on the back, but I'll keep the wheels that I have. I definitely think I'm gonna keep these, the CCWs. I definitely wanna keep them. I just don't prefer the color that they're in at the moment. I mean, they're aluminum, but I just don't prefer it. I think that I could do better if they were maybe black, maybe polished lip, or all black. Maybe that would be better. But definitely looking into some things. So with that being said, thank you once again, Mike Giles, Street Candy. If you're looking at the Instagram following along, MG_Street Candy with the K, KNDI. Kind of the same one that's on the page for the YouTube. Thank you. Appreciate it. Take care. Bye-bye.